In our last lesson, we talked about asking for permission, giving permission, and refusing permission. We saw the story of these two friends, Ella and Rebecca. Alaikum salam. Hello. Hi, Hajar. Hi, how are you?
Fine, alhamdulillah.
Okay,
رمضان مبارك جميعا.
كل عام وانتي بخير.
أجمعين مبارك عليك الشهر.
اوكي هو طبعا المفروض تأخرنا اليوم، المفروض الساعة 10، لكن ان شاء الله الحصة الجاية حتكون في الموعد ان شاء الله. على كل حال مجرد مراجعة سريعة. We talked about permission, and we saw the story of Ella and Rebecca, because Ella and her husband or boyfriend, Mike, they were in India and they came back and they needed to stay a bit with Charlie and with Rebecca. So they stayed with them for I think one night. I don't know how long, but they stayed for the night. And we listened to the conversation. We used some of this language. Let me put it in a box here. Here it is. So you can use these questions to ask for permission. For example, like, can I make myself some breakfast? May I use your washing machine? Do you mind if I borrow a jumper, for example? Is it okay if I use your laptop? Would you mind if I borrowed your car? Do you think I can use your phone? So all of these are different ways to ask for permission. So you can ask for permission in this way. And you can also give permission. If you answer these questions, if you're the listener and someone asks you these questions, you can answer. You can say, yes, of course. You go ahead. Yes, of course you can. No, not at all. So the first group اللي هم النص الأول هذا كلهم يعتبروا it means you accept or you give permission. لو تلاحظوا كلهم فيهم yes of course, no, not at all. They're in the طبعا no, not at all هذه إجابة لي do you mind. So if someone asks you do you mind and you want to give permission, يعني بتعطوه الشخص هذا الإذن، فتقدر تقولوا no, not at all. لأنكم لو قلتوا yes, if you say yes to answer a question with do you mind, then it means you refuse. فهذه القصة يعني. فزي عكس عكاس do you mind إجابته تبدأ بنو. لكن في كل الأحوال اللي هم المجموعة الأولى ABC يعتبروا كلهم يعني الشخص gives permission، يعني يعطي في الإذن للطلب. وفي المجموعة الأولى هذول كلهم يعتبروا طرق طلب permission. All of these are asking, so let's write it. So these are ways to ask for permission. Ask for permission. And here you give permission. It means you accept. And here you refuse permission. في المجموعة الثانية لو تلاحظوا. You refuse permission. It means you don't accept. لاحظوا الإجابات. Sorry, it's only insured for Rebecca and myself. Actually, I was going to put some washing in. Sorry, I left mine at work. يعني هذه كلها في الحالات هي الشخص أعطيه excuse. So this means the person does not give permission. So this is what we covered, or what we talked about in our last lesson. Watch and listen again. Okay, so what we want to do now in exercise number 3 Yes, مدرناش number 3 بالضبط. So in exercise number 3, we want to look at how we make these questions. What do we use? So it says here, look at ways of asking for permission in bold in number 2b. So we're going to focus on how to ask for permission. So this part is what we're going to focus on. And we want to see how we can make different ways, or how we can make different questions to ask for permission. This is the idea. So if you use can I, you need to use infinitive. And let me just show you the options that we're going to choose from. It says here, which verb form comes after each phrase. So we have a number of options. You can either use infinitive, present simple, or past simple. So we've got actually 3 options to use. So the first one, can I? We use infinitive. What about may I? What do we use after may I? Do we use, what do you think? Infinitive, present simple, past simple. What do we use? Right.
I think the same infinitive.
That's
Okay,
actually correct.
Because my I use.
That's it.
Mm.
May I use? So it's infinitive. That's correct. What about do you mind if I? What do we use? Do you mind if I? By the way, I have a question. What's the difference between infinitive and present simple? شنو الفرق؟ يعني في الإجابات تو في السؤال هذا. What do you think the difference is?
في البريزنت when use he and she and it, we use s with the verb.
Correct. You're right. There's an S
Yeah.
when the subject is he, she, or it. صح? But with the when we
Yes.
use infinitive, we don't have this. There's no S. That's correct.
Yeah.
All right. So
This, I think this is the difference.
You're right.
But
What about number 3? Do you mind if I?
yes, even this infinitive.
Infinitive?
Borrow.
Okay. Do you mind if I borrow, for example? So it's also infinitive. What about number 4? Is it okay if I? What should we use here? Should we use infinitive, present simple, past simple?
Yes, even here infinitive.
Okay.
Because here the verb without anything.
Mm-hmm. But how can we know if the answer is infinitive or present simple? How do we know? How can we tell the difference? This means you have to try to put he or she, and then try to test it and see, is it the same or not, right? So number 1, so if we say, if we change I, if we change it to he, for example.
Okay.
Does the verb change? Do we say, can he make, or may he, can we say may he use? Can he use? Can he make? Can he take? Can he? Yeah, we can do it. But does the verb change, or is it still infinitive when we use can, then can and may?
Yes, I think infinitive.
Yes, correct. It's still infinitive.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, but what about number 3? Do you mind if I use your phone, for example? Do you mind if he? How does it change? Does it stay the
Maybe
same?
here because if that's why.
It's still the same, yeah.
Do we say,
Do
do
you
you
mind?
mind if he used your phone, or do you mind if he uses your phone?
If he used
What do you,
infinitive, not.
okay, Hajar thinks it's infinitive. What do you think, Sana? Do you
Yes.
mind if he uses, or do you mind if
because
he uses?
do here مش not do you mind if he use.
This is I think it's a subject question. Okay, لا خلينا نكتبوا احنا infinitive مبدئيا and then we can check. What about number 5? Would you mind if or would you mind if he? What do you think? What do we use here?
Here the verb with ed.
Okay. So this means past simple, right? Let's write past simple. What about number 6? Do you think I could? Is it infinitive or is it present simple? What do you think?
Present simple.
So if we change, for example, the subject, if we change it to he, do you think he can use this? Do we say? Or do you think she could use this? Or do you think she could use?
But I think because it's model verb, that's why maybe use infinitive
Yes, infinitive.
Good point.
after can or could, may. Yes,
Correct. After
this is model verb.
you're right. Usually after modal verbs, we use infinitive. Okay, okay. So before we check the answers, let's check the second part of the question. It says here in question B, choose the correct way to give permission for these questions. After which other phrase in 3A do we say no, not at all? Okay. يعني هنا في السؤال هذا we want to look for how to give permission. Okay. But one of them we use no to give permission. So we also want to find which question do we say no to give permission. So we have two questions. So the first question, نبدأ بالأول. So the first question says, can I have some breakfast? So someone is asking for permission. And you want to give this person permission. What's the answer? Which one do we choose to give permission? If someone asks you, can I make myself some breakfast?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. This means you're giving permission to the person. Okay. But what about the second question? If the person says, do you mind if I make myself some breakfast? How can we give this person permission?
No, not at all.
Yes, that's correct. Do you get this idea, Sana?
Yeah. Yes, because you explained it before yeah.
That's it. Because
If,
questions with do you
someone
mind?
asked, do you mind?
Because if you say yes, it means you mind. It means there's a problem. Do you get the idea? Do you mind زي بالعربي زي هل تمانع. هل تمانع. فأنت لو قلتي ايه yes معناها أنت تمانعي، معناها ما تعطي مش حتعطي الإذن. Do you get the idea? فديما ديما الإجابة الإيجابية لسؤال do you mind ديما negative. Do you mind? No, not at all. No problem. No. هذا لو أنت موافقة يعني. This is the idea. All right, so it's just I think it's the only exception. هما أسئلة ب do you mind and would you mind? The answer is no. If you want to give permission, you say no. All right, let's check the next part. Okay, تو المرة هذه بنشوف العكس اللي هما it says look at sentences number 4 to 6. So you want to focus on number 4 to 6, and these are the answers. And it says here, where is it? Can you see 4 to 6 here? The last three. And here we want to talk about when you don't give permission. So the first question says, do we usually say no when we refuse permission? Because here D, E, and F, in all these cases, we refused permission. But do we say no? What do you think?
No.
No, we don't, right?
No.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
even if you refuse permission, we don't say no. هذه نقطة مهمة. So we don't say no. Okay, second question says, do we
Maybe
usually...
it's like more polite, we don't say no.
You're right, exactly, Sana. The idea is if we want to be more polite, we shouldn't say no. Because saying no is, it's not very gentle, it's not very polite. It's better to say something else. In the second question, it says, do we usually give a reason to say why we refuse permission? Do we give a reason or we don't give a reason? What do you think? من الأمثلة هذه D, E, F.
I think yes.
Yes.
Give a
Yes.
reason.
You're right. You're right. Yes, we give a reason. So usually if you refuse permission, we should explain why. This makes it more polite and it makes it gentler. Do you get the idea? So here in question D, لما قال sorry, it's only insured for Rebecca and myself. هذا كان إجابة للسؤال اللي هو can I use your car? فطبعا ما يبيهمش يستعملوا سيارته. And he explained why. He said it's only insured for Rebecca and myself. يعني ما فيهاش تأمين لشخص تاني. So no, but he didn't say no. هي دي الفكرة. All right, now last part here, it says, which words do we use to be polite when we refuse permission? So which word did we use most here in number D, E, F to refuse permission? There's a word they use a lot and it makes it sound polite. What is it, Sana?
Sorry.
That's it. So if you want to be polite and you want to refuse permission, just say sorry without saying no. This is the idea. Okay. So question C, it covers how we refuse permission. الحاجات اللي نقول فيها لما نرفضه. Okay, تو المرة هذه خلينا نتأكدوا ونبغى نشوفوا أما هم اللي كانوا infinitive, which ones are infinitive and which ones are present simple. Let's take a quick look. 151. All right, can you see it? Do you mind? Here are the answers. هذا الموضوع اللي كنا احنا مش متأكدين منه. So زي ما قلت سنة بالنسبة للمودلز كلهم اللي هم can I, may I, do you think I could، هذا كلهم عشان حنستعمل لهم الانفينيتيف. So we use the infinitive in these situations, okay? So here we are. But if you have do you mind if I, is it okay if I، في الحالة هذه we have to use present simple. لأنك لو تغيري في الحالة هذه if you change I, if you change it with he or she هتلاحظوا أن ضروري ما نستعملوا ال S. Do you mind if he watches TV? Do you mind if she brings a pet? Is it okay if she borrows your mobile? Is it okay if he uses your car? لاحظتوا ولا؟ يعني لما تغيروا ال I تغيروها ب he ولا she هتلقوا روحكم ضروري ما تستعملوا ال S بتاع present simple. So this is when we use present simple. And the last situation اللي هما نستعمل فيهم past simple. Would you mind if I used؟ هو السؤال هذا would you mind؟ In this situation, use the past simple. Okay, فهذه كانت الإجابة. So now we can go back and we can do an exercise. Here it is. So in exercise number 4, I'm gonna play the track. And remember, asking for permission, if you want to ask for permission, it's very important that your voice or your intonation sounds polite. So I'm going to play the track for you, and I want you to tell me which one is more polite. Is it A or is it B? So let me take you to the track. A or B? What is it? Track 9. Let's listen.
Myself some breakfast.
This is the
B.
example.
Can I make myself some breakfast?
2. A.
May I use your washing machine?
B.
May I use your washing machine?
Which one is more polite, number 2, A or B?
A, I think.
Okay, let me repeat it for you, just to check. Number 2, focus on number 2.
A.
May I use your washing machine?
B.
May I use your washing machine?
What do you think?
B, maybe.
Yes, B is actually more polite.
Yes, B, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
in A, like, shout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. In A, the person is actually shouting. You're right. Okay, let's listen to number 3.
3. A.
Do you mind if I borrow a jumper?
B.
Do you mind if I borrow a jumper?
What do you think?
B.
Yes.
B.
B, more polite. Okay, number 4.
4. A.
Is it okay if I use your laptop to upload some photos?
B.
Is it okay if I use your laptop to upload some photos?
A.
Yes. A is more polite.
Mm.
Correct. Okay, let's listen to number 5.
5. A.
Would you mind if I borrowed your car sometime this week?
B.
Would you mind if I borrowed your car sometime this week?
What do you think? A or B?
A.
I didn't listen.
You couldn't hear it?
Yeah, yes, I have problem. Internet.
Sana, did you hear it clearly?
Yes, I hear.
Okay, خلينا نعودها. One more time. Ready, number 5.
If I borrowed your car sometime this week,
Sorry, زين. نرجع.
5.
كده.
A.
would you mind if I borrowed your car sometime this week?
B.
Would you mind if I borrowed your car sometime this week?
Okay, what do you
B.
think?
A, I think.
I think it's A. A was a little more friendly, I think. The intonation was
And like slowly, not like B. It's very fast, I think.
I think the issue is intonation more than speed. بس ممكن أسرع can't be. Maybe you're right. Okay, last one. Let's listen to the last one.
6. A.
Do you think I could use your landline to call my parents?
B.
Do you think I could use your landline to call my parents?
What do you think?
B.
B. B is more polite.
B.
Yes, it's friendlier, it's more polite. The intonation is higher. هي القصة كلها مش في الفوليوم، ماهوش في ارتفاع الصوت، في النغم. القصة كلها في الانتونيشن هي. This is the point. Okay, so we've got that correct. All the answers are correct. Let's take a look. Number 5. Listen, we can skip number 5. Okay, now we want to put these in order. So here we have some words. We want to put them in order. And after that, listen to. Okay. So let's do it together. First of all, we want to put the questions asking for permission. هادو كلهم يعتبروا asking for permission. Okay. So حنرتبوهم. After that, we want to practice answering them. So if you want to give permission, you can, but if you refuse permission, you have to give a reason. This is the idea. But first of all, let's put the words in order. So what about number 1? Which word is the first one? Remember, asking for permission. All of them are asking for permission. What do you think is the first word? Is it
May.
I? Okay, may.
May.
Okay.
May. I.
Okay.
See.
Okay.
May I see?
Okay, I'm going to write it here. May I see? Can you finish it?
What you have what you have written.
Okay, I think you're right. What about the next one, Ash? What's the question here?
Can I use your dictionary? A moment.
All right. I think this is also correct. Okay, number 3, Sana. What's the question here? The person is asking for money.
Do you think? Do you think I could?
I could.
I
Uh-huh.
could borrow ED ولا؟
ED is when you use would you mind.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think I could borrow okay.
Mhm.
You some money.
استعملناها اليو في يو واحدة. Do you get the idea? اليو خلاص
I
استعمل.
borrow yeah.
Yes. Do you think I could?
Okay. I borrow some money. Do you think?
هيك صح. Do you think I could borrow some money؟ صح هيك بشكل هذا.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think I will you حطيناها مع do you think صح. Your answer
Yes.
is correct.
Mhm.
Okay, number 4
Okay.
Hajar. How can we ask for permission here?
Do you mind
Mhm.
if I
Huh?
do you mind if you take the off on it?
Mhm.
Do you mind if
I صح لحد توا. Do you mind if I?
I take
Uh-huh.
a photo of you?
Right. That's correct. Do you mind if I take a photo of you? You're right. Okay, number 5 Sana.
Okay. Okay. Is it okay
Mhm.
if
Uh-huh.
borrow
Who's gonna borrow?
ولا؟
You have to use the subject.
your
لا لا.
borrow
it a-
your
Is it okay if you need a subject here?
is it okay if
If who? If who borrows?
okay if I
أيوة. If I
borrow
uh-huh.
DVD ROM
But whose
a
DVD is
few
it?
days
Possessive. Whose DVD is it?
your
Uh-huh.
DVD ROM a few days.
Correct. Very good. Okay. صوتي واضح ولا يقطع؟
عندنا واضح ما أعرفش هاجر.
اوكي.
عارف أنا عندي قطع لك ممكن من الإنترنت متاعي مش عارف.
ما يقطعش بكل عندك سنة صوتي.
حاجة بسيطة هيك مش يعني هلبة.
Okay, let me try something. Okay, let me try my other internet. Just a second. I'll try to get it back because maybe this one is slow. Okay, let's check. Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, I hear you.
Yes.
Okay. So the last one آخر واحدة درناها اللي هي is it okay if I borrow your DVD-ROM for a few days? Okay, last one, Hajar.
Would you mind
Okay, correct. Would you mind if
if I used your mobile
correct?
to call the USA?
That's it. Okay, so I think you get the idea here, how to ask for permission. We have a few ways. You can use may I, you can use can I, you can use do you mind, you can say do you think I can, or do you think I could. You can use this, you can say would you mind, do you mind. So we've got more than a few ways. All right, so now Sana, I want you to use some of these, choose 2 or 3 of them, and ask Hajar. Ask permission from Hajar, and we'll see if Hajar will accept one of them and maybe refuse another. But if she refuses, she has to give a reason. So this means Sana, you can choose any 2. اختاري أي منهم. واحدة منهم one of them Sana, Hajar will accept. She will give you permission, and the other one she will refuse.
Okay. Would you mind if I use your mobile to call the USA?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
اوكي لحظة، هل انت بتمنعي ولا بتعطيها تو؟
اوكي بنعطيها.
معناها ما تقدريش تقولي yes.
Yes. Yeah. Not at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Not at all. Yeah.
Okay, so let's write this answer. This means you accept. You want to give her. You said no, not at all. Okay, so Sana, you can ask her another thing, but this time she's gonna refuse.
Okay. Can I use your dictionary for a moment?
Sorry, because I have some work to do with it.
Good. So sorry. You don't have to say because. You can just say I've got some work. I've got some work to do with it. I think it's a good refusal. She gave you a good reason. Okay, now let's do the other way around. So Hajar, you're gonna ask Sana you're gonna ask her permission. So you could choose any 2 of these sentences, and one of them Sana is gonna accept, and the other one she's gonna refuse. So you can ask her.
Okay. Do you mind if I take a photo of you?
No, not at all.
Okay. No, not at all.
Okay. May I see what you have written?
Sorry. sorry. I have written some sentence, personal sentence.
Okay. Yes, sorry, I've written some personal sentences. Or sorry, you can make it shorter. You can say, sorry, it's personal. Sorry, it's personal. Right?
Yes.
Yes. It's a good reason. It's a good reason. Sorry, it's personal. Sorry, it's personal. Okay. So these are useful ways to ask for permission, to give permission, and to refuse permission. أهم حاجة في refusing permission اللي هي قصة ماذا بينا ما نستعملوش no. هي ممكن هذه أهم نقطة في القصة. All right, very nice, very nice. So now we're going to do a little bit of pronunciation, okay? I want you to pay attention to the linking here in the phrasal verbs. Remember in the previous lesson, remember the lesson where we talked about the different types of phrasal verbs, you remember? We talked about type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. So we discussed phrasal verbs. Now we want to talk a little bit about the pronunciation of phrasal verbs. How do we pronounce them? It says here, listen to these phrasal verbs, notice the different types of linking, listen again and practice. So we've got more than one way of linking the phrasal verbs. So we've got the المجموعة الأولى لو تلاحظوا اللي هم هادو. The first group, this is the normal consonant vowel linking. نفس القصة. Consonant vowel linking. Then we've got the W linking, the W, this other sound, which is a little different. Then we've got another different sound, which is the R. So here the R is clear. And the last sound, we've got the Y, C. So we've actually got about 4 types of linking that happens when we read phrasal verbs, or when we say, sorry, phrasal verbs. So I'm just, sorry, I'm just gonna play it for you. So just pay attention to how it's done so we can see the difference.
Track 10.
Can I make myself some breakfast?
Oops, which 10?
Track 11.
Look it up. Put it off. Give it up. Point it out. Get out of it. Give it away. Go up. Throw out. Get over it. Clear out. See off. Tidy up.
Okay. So nothing new, I think, here. موضوع اللي هو linking, different types of linking هذا مغطينا قبل. مجرد أن ذكرونا به when we use phrasal verbs, these linking sounds are also used. And the first type اللي هو most common هذا اللي هو consonant vowel. بعدين عندنا W و بعدين عندنا R وآخر واحد اللي هو ي sound. So in number 2, they want us to practice, but I don't think we need to practice. Let me just play it for you so you can hear these sounds. هما في مجموعة ناقصة لكن عادي, not very important. Just listen to it, just pay attention and notice them. Pay a little attention, and that's all. So I'm gonna play this conversation between Rob and Sue. خلينا نسمعها.
Track 12.
Hi, Sue. What are you doing at the weekend?
We're planning to go away.
Really? Where are you off to?
We're off to Dublin for a wedding. We have to check in at 10, so we're setting off at 8.
Well, this weekend I'm going to tidy up my office. I've been putting it off for ages, but I really need to sort it out.
So are you going to be in all weekend?
Yes, I am. Do you want me to look after your cat while you're away?
That'd be great, thanks. See you on Monday.
Okay. So I think it's quite easy to guess. So here with Rob, he said, really, where are you off to? So this is, which sound do you think this is? You off to? Where are you off to? What's the added sound here? Is it a ya? Is it a wa? Or is it a ra? What do you think? Where are you off to? Where are you off to? We're off to Dublin. Where are you off to? What do you think, Sana? Where are you off to?
I think W. What?
Correct,
to?
correct.
Mm.
And we're off. This one. What about this one? We're rough. What's the sound here?
We
What do you
are.
think?
We are.
What do you think?
Mm,
Because remember, usually the R is silent in British English, but here in this example, it's not. We're rough. So it's actually the ra, the R sound. This is the extra sound here. So it's the R sound. What about this one? For a wedding, for a wedding, for a wedding, for a wedding. What is it?
Ra.
Yes,
Ra.
that's it. I'm going to tidy up. Yup. I'm going to tidy up. Tidy up. Tidy up. Yup. What's the added sound here?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
My office. My office. Yup. My office.
The same.
The same, yeah, my office. I've been putting it up for ages. I've been putting it up for ages.
R.
Yes,
Okay.
you're right. So are you going? So are you going?
What?
Yes, there's a W. So are you going to be in all weekend? Be in all weekend. Be in.
Yeah.
There's a yeah. صح. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes,
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
صح. While you're away.
You're away. Wow.
Do we say you're away or do we say you're away?
No. You're away.
Yes, the R sound, an added sound. صح. وآخر واحدة see you on Monday. Of course, صح. The answer is correct. Of course, in the middle of the conversation, it's so fast. It feels natural. هي دي الفكرة. إن هذا هتلاحظوا روحكم تديروا فيها من غير ما تفكروا. بس هو في added sound. هي دي القصة يعني. Anyways, هذا موضوع ال added sounds اللي جينا بين ال phrasal verbs. مش شرط phrasal verbs أي كلمات. لكن phrasal verbs لأنهم مربوطات ببعض. ففيهم ال linking واضح. Okay, so let me show you our next topic. So here we're going to talk a little bit about work, things people do at work, and we'll also talk about reported speech. Did we talk about reported speech? But if it bring to me, look. I think here we haven't talked about reported speech yet, but I think you already know reported speech. But first, before we talk about reported speech, خلينا نتكلم شوية على vocab. So we've got some vocab related to work. Okay, so let's start here. So here, things people do at work. Things people do at work. So let's match the left side, the verbs in the left. Let's match them to the words and the phrases on the right. So have a lot of responsibility. Work what? What do you think?
People's problems.
Is there a better one for people's problems?
No. Yeah, sort out.
Work overtime. Work overtime.
But you have to use the same box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave
Work conferences.
let's leave work. نشوفوا sort out.
Maybe sort out
people's problems.
Yes, I think that's right. What does it mean when we say sort out people's problems?
The problem. Sort out, this means classified, yes?
Correct. Normally we use sort out to mean classify, yes. But when we use it for people's problems, what are we trying to say when we sort out people's problems?
Maybe solve.
Yes, I think you're right.
Solve, yeah.
Solve, fix, you know, get rid of the problem. صح. Organize. لكن مع problem بنقدرش نستعمل organize. Okay, what can we use organize for? Organize what?
Conference.
Organize the conference.
That's correct. Organize conferences. So this means we have to say work on social hours. But what does it mean to work on social hours? Have you heard of this phrase before? To work on social hours? What do you think, Haj?
Maybe like duties or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. Night shifts, duty.
Night shift.
Yeah, so policemen, firefighters, some doctors and nurses. Yes, this is the meaning. So you're working hours which are not very social because not a lot of people are available or awake. Correct. Okay, next group. So we have do what? If you're not sure about do, we can leave it and check another verb. Maybe go something, run something, be responsible something. What do you think?
Go for a fitness. No, for anxious. No.
What about be responsible?
Be responsible.
Maybe be responsible for the finance.
That's actually correct. Be responsible for the finances. So maybe if you work as a financial manager or a financial officer or something, yes, you have to be responsible for the finances. صح.
Okay.
Run a department.
That's also correct. Run a department, it
Okay.
means you're the manager or you're the head of
You
the
are the
department.
manager. Yeah.
Correct. This is your one of your
okay.
responsibilities.
Go for an audition.
Right.
Mm.
Who goes for auditions? Who? Do bankers go for auditions or do actors go for auditions?
Actors.
Yes, usually actors, they go for auditions.
What's the meaning addition?
Audition, can you explain it, Hajar, in English? What does audition mean when we say go for an audition?
I'm practicing for something,
Mm.
or it's not practicing.
I think what you're talking about, practice, that's rehearsal.
Yeah, not practice. Is to choose someone who can do the. I don't know how to explain it.
You mean someone who can do the role? They're testing to see.
Yes, it's like
That's
that.
right. That's exactly right. So Sana, it means if you're an actor or an actress and you want to take part in a series or a movie or something, you have to go and go for an audition. It means you test the role in front of the director and the producer, maybe with another actor. And if they like your acting and they like your style, they'll say, okay, you can work with us, or we will tell you tomorrow or next week.
This meaning like interview.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm.
But with
Mhm.
actors and actresses, they don't have an interview. They have an audition.
Mhm.
They have to act the role.
Yes.
Yeah, دي الفكرة. So this means the last one is do overtime.
Do overtime.
Mhm. Okay, next box. We deal with what?
Customers
Right.
or client.
That's correct. Customers and clients.
Mhm.
And we arrange. What do we arrange?
A meeting.
Meetings.
Mhm.
Correct. We arrange meetings. And we work.
Shifts.
We work
Work of a
shifts.
shifts.
We work shifts is correct. And we are in charge, or he's in
Of a
charge, or they're in
Of a-
charge. Yes, in charge of a company. Correct.
Mhm.
That's right. So these are some of the words that we'll talk about. So I think maybe it's better if for today we'll try 1 hour. اوكي شنو رايكم انتم 1 hour تحسوا مازال عندكم جهد الساعتين؟ اليوم ناخذوا ساعه واحده بس كتجربه، لكن هل تحسوا مثلا في الحصه الجايه ناخذوا زوز ولا تحسوا ساعه نخلوها احسن؟ What do you think? How do you feel? What about you, Sana? What's your opinion? What do you think? Do you prefer 1 hour or prefer 2?
والله 1 hour because I want to sleep.
Yes, me too. I want to sleep too.
Yes.
But I wanted to
Because
check with you
tomorrow
too.
morning I have a work. That's why maybe.
يا لا هو احنا من الاول اصلا متفقين ساعه ساعتين صعب، لكن قلت نشوفكم بالك ناشطين. Okay, Hajar, what do you think, Hajar? How do you feel? Can you do 2 hours or do you also prefer 1?
No.
You prefer
Just
1?
1 hour. Yeah.
Okay, so we all agree, because for me actually 1 hour is better. لأن شو مرات يصير يبدأ في حتى الحصص الثانيات منغطين في نفس اليوم، لما تجيني حصتكم انتم ساعة حتى اسهل لي أنا. So I think it might be better for everyone. All right, okay, that's excellent. So this means, let me show you what we'll talk about in our next lesson. In our next lesson, we're going to find out about Gabby, and we're going to see her story. She's going to take a role. Gabby is the PA, the personal assistant. So she has to deal with the clients and the actors and the actresses, because Max, the manager, he is responsible for the auditions. فحنقرأ قصة reported speech. I think we talked about هذاك في pre-intermediate. لا مش نفس الشيء. Anyways, it's an interesting topic. Reported speech is when you report or when you repeat something to someone else. فهذا اللي هو موضوع حصتنا القادمة. Reported speech, how to report different sentences. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. I'll see you, inshallah, on Saturday. Have a great weekend and good night.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
خير.
مع السلامة. تصبح على خير. Good night.